Peace, this is King Noble Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about black supremacy as the ultimate perfection of the Moorish movement. Now, when I speak of black supremacy in that way, it's going to be controversial with a lot of Moorish science followers because they automatically associate Moor with being who they are, and they associate black with being something negative or something evil, not to call ourselves black. So when I say black supremacy is the ultimate perfection of the Moorish movement, that's going to hit them kind of hard, but I will explain. What Prophet Noble Drew Ali was about was nation building, was establishing and building a nation for what we call black people in America today. That's ultimately what he was about, nation building. He was about the melanated person being in their rightful place, being in the position that they belong. This is what Noble Drew Ali was about. Now, that struggle for upliftment and empowerment has evolved over time. It has evolved over the years. And this is just a fact which a lot of Moors don't want to accept, that our movement as a people have evolved. Whether you call us Moors, Hebrew Israelites, Nubians, Five Percenters, Nation of Islam, Garveyites, Rastafarians, whatever you want to call us, our movement has evolved. It has taken an evolutionary course. And what's profound about it is that it all has the same origin. If you talk about Noble Drew Ali, you're talking about his origin in Marcus Garvey. He himself say that Marcus Garvey is John the Baptist, that he is the forerunner, that Marcus Garvey is the forerunner for Noble Drew Ali. So all of our major black movements, melanated movements, start with Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey had what was called the Negro Improvement Association. He also had a shipping company called the Black Star Line. So Marcus Garvey acknowledged black and he acknowledged Negro. And this is who Noble Drew Ali say is the forerunner for his movement. So Noble Drew Ali's teachings were somewhat an evolution of what Marcus Garvey brought. A lot of old Garvey members moved forward and went to join what is known as the MST of A, the Moorish Science Temple of America. They became a part of that, and they affected and influenced his ideas and his thoughts. It evolved. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali made it more about nationality, more about becoming a defined nation state. Marcus Garvey was more on Pan-Africanism, uniting African people all around the world as one power, creating a United States of Africa. Noble Drew Ali was more on the nationality of the so-called Negro, blacks, and colors in America. So it was an evolution to get us more in a nationalistic state, to becoming a true nation, becoming true diplomats. And it evolved from that because you had members of that organization, Elijah Muhammad, Elijah Poole Bey at the time, and Master Farad Muhammad, who were said to be members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And they took it and they evolved his idea of nationality, and they made it affect the times that they were in. What a lot of people don't realize is that when Moorish Science Temple was founded during the time of Noble Drew Ali, that black was something evil. Black was something negative in society to be associated with that. They were hanging black people, murdering, lynching, and flogging black people during the time of Noble Drew Ali. So it made sense not to be identified with black. If you got accosted by the police, you did want the police to see that you were something else, that you were some type of national, that you were connected to Morocco, that you weren't just a Negro, black, and colored in America, and you didn't deserve to be treated that way. You wanted to have a different type of relationship with law enforcement. So you said, you know what, I'm not Negro, black, and colored. I'm a Moor. I'm something else. So I don't want to be treated that way. So being identified with the Moor may have gave, with the Moorish movement, with the Moroccans, may have gave you a window that could save your life. Because we see there are many cases where Africans came over here and they were not treated as so-called Negro, blacks, and colors were treated during that time. They weren't treated with the disrespect that we were. So if we can identify ourselves with something other than the stigma or the energy that was put on being Negro, black, and colored, if we could be identified with something else, that it would work towards our benefit. So we didn't want to be called black, Negro, or colored. But then it evolved when Elijah Muhammad took it. Because it was in a time where I'm black and I'm proud. And like Tupac said, black became the thing to be. A whole new era dealing with Dr. King and Stokely Carmichael. A whole new era came. The era of Malcolm X. Where black wasn't bad anymore. Black gained new meaning. And the consciousness of the melanated person in America evolved dramatically. Where the self-hatred was not as deep. And the stigma on being black was not as negative as it was during the time of Noble Drew Ali. So it evolved. And we began to have a black nation. We began to have a nation of Islam. We begin to realize that the black man was God. The melanated man was God. The ruler of the universe. The maker and owner of the planet Earth. So the whole stigma and energy around black changed. And it evolved even more with Malcolm X. Malcolm X militant, fiery teachings of black nationalism, which gave birth to the new Black Panther Party and their ideology. This is a fact. So being a melanated person in the West evolved from the time of Noble Drew Ali. And it continued to evolve. The evolution didn't stop with Master Farad Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali. It didn't stop. It kept going into Malcolm. It kept evolving into Dr. Malachi York, which is a culmination of all the teachings. It kept evolving with the Hebrew Israelite movement, Ben Amin and Yahweh Ben Yahweh. It kept evolving. But the ultimate evolution and perfection of Moorish science is black supremacy. Because we truly stand in the sovereignty, the true idea of sovereignty, the true idea of independence from the white man in America. We stand in and as that. We're the embodiment of that reality in this time. We just cut the chaser. We just got around all the bullshit. We're just not playing with the white man for another century. But we embody that. We are the black supreme court in regards to our people. We are the supreme rulers of our destiny in embodiment and manifestation. We embody that. We know that black supremacy is the origin of true black nationalism. Because you can't have a nation without a supreme ruler. You can't have a nation without a supreme tribe, without a supreme people on that particular body of land and territory. You can't have that. You need supremacy in order to be a nation. You need supremacy in order to have independence. You need supremacy in order to have self-determination and self-rule and independence. You have to have supremacy. So all the other organizations was missing the pride and the courage and dignity in standing in a position of supremacy. That's a fact. And that's where we are today with the black supremacy movement. We see the supremeness in who we are. We've evolved past looking at ourselves as negative, as evil, as black meaning something bad. And now we see the supremacy of who we are. And in the supremacy of who we are, we stand to be a true nation, a true sovereign nation, true self-empowered beings here in the northwestern shores of a maxim in America. We choose to be sovereigns now. We choose to stand in the NASDAQ in its fullness. So black supremacy truly is the evolution of more science. And things are going to continue to evolve. As society evolves, as people evolve, things will continue to evolve and get higher. We'll learn from those before us. We'll take the good from all of them. And we'll be the best, the top, the cream of the planet Earth. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleBlackRulership.com, and also www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Black Supremacy.